Yes, it's okay to be a sometimes. And here's why. It's time for us to stop being nice all the time because it's actually hurting us in the long run. Being too nice will get you disrespected, overlooked, and just really have people playing in your face all day. And to me, there's a difference between being too nice and having kindness. Being nice means that you're agreeable and socially polite, while having kindness means that you have a genuine compassion for others. I don't know about y'all, but I would much rather be known as compassionate versus being agreeable. Like when I die, I don't want people to be like,
I remember her being agreeable.
I want to be remembered for something more meaningful. That's why today we're going to learn how to be bitches and really just shift the narrative on what it means to be a bitch and encourage you to be assertive when it comes to setting your boundaries and doing so without shame. The people-pleasing trap. Have you heard of the people-pleasing trap? People-pleasing is just another socially acceptable form of self-abandonment. As women, we are conditioned at a young age to put others before ourselves. It starts in our childhood, continues in school, and religion and culture also pushes the narrative that by being nice, we will get rewarded. And you might be wondering, well, what's the prize? The prize is often just social acceptance and keeping the peace. But when you weigh how much you give and what you receive, is it really worth it? And I can understand how people pleasing can be a survival mechanism for some people, right? Like sometimes, depending on our circumstances, we have to do so in order to cope. For example, I grew up with really strict parents that were not a fan of me having a mind of my own at a young age. So I learned real quick that if I was quiet, I didn't start any problems, and I was helpful to them, the less that they would criticize me. From this, I unfortunately adopted the harmful idea that if I was perfect and made everyone happy, that I would feel safe, loved, and valued. But of course, this was just a false sense of security. So, how do you know if you're a people pleaser? There are really a couple signs to know whether or not you're a people pleaser. Some of them being struggling to say no to people, over apologizing, seeking constant approval from others, conflict avoidance, not communicating your needs, and a difficulty with setting boundaries. Unfortunately, I related to all of these. As people pleasers, to avoid feeling those uncomfortable situations, you probably say yes a lot and avoid saying how you really feel. But in return, all you get is emotional burnout, growing resentment, and a lack of self-identity. Because like they say, if you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. So people pleasing is really just fear in disguise. Being too nice can also make you a target. As human beings, we subconsciously test each other's boundaries, okay? This kind of gauges what you're willing and not willing to put up with in your relationships and friendships. That's pretty much why those that lack boundaries, they often experience a lot of disappointing relationships because they feel taken advantage of. So being easygoing just means that it takes a lot less to keep you around, and once they start disrespecting you, you won't be too bothered by it. When I was either 19 or 20 years old, I had a best friend of 8 or 9 years, and at this point in my life, they knew me the best. Like, they had seen me since I was 11 years old, all my different phases. We went through life together. We experienced life together. Like, this person knew me the best. She had another friend who always had some type of weird animosity towards me, and it's because she was jealous of the friendship that I had with my friend. And this was coming from my friend. She's the one that told me this, which was already red flag number one. But obviously, having no boundaries at the time, I didn't pay it no mind. We actually ended up starting to hang out as like a group or trio, which was a big mistake. I was just trying to get to know the girl, but she was always saying or doing some slick shit, like trying to make me feel like I was third wheeling. And when this girl was being weird, it's not like I didn't say anything. I did kind of bring it up to my friend, but I didn't do it it in an assertive way, like, hey, you know, this is my boundary. And so she never really checked her on it, and that's something that I do regret. And looking back on it now, I'm like, okay, that's definitely something that I should have done different and made it known that, hey, this shit makes me uncomfortable. I don't play like that. But instead, I was being agreeable and nice. So I was generally trying to get to know the girl, but the girl was just evil. So what do I do in this situation after finding all of this out? Oh, we all decided to go on a road trip together. Why the hell would I do that? Why would someone go on a road trip with someone that hates them? Oh, because I lacked boundaries. But long story short, this woman was fucking evil. During the road trip, I ended up having a small anxiety attack. Actually, let me not downplay my emotions. I ended up having a really bad anxiety attack. And in the middle of me crying, this evil woman starts to bring up the fact how she's sorry that her sister was giving me dirty looks and, you know, how her sister doesn't like me. Can you read the room? Why on earth, when someone is, mind you, I was crying for an unrelated reason to her sister. Didn't even know about her sister doing this, mind you. Why would you? At a time when someone is bawling their eyes out, instead of comforting them, you're gonna bring up the fact that their sister was giving them dirty looks. Are you insane? Are you crazy? Are you the devil? Why would someone do that? It was as if she was trying to purposely trigger me to have even, you know, more emotions and cry even more. And in my head, that really messed me up because I'm just like, I don't even know you like that. Why would you do that? Like, you're weird. You're very weird. Right after that trip, I checked my friend. That was pretty much my last straw with her. That was the first and the last time that I set that boundary with my friend about this weirdo, because I ended our friendship after that. I let her know clearly that there was too many instances where this girl was being weird and rude to me, and she never checked her. She always downplayed what was going on and tried to over-explain and defend why certain things were they were. And I don't know about y'all, but as a friend, I would never befriend someone that hates my best friend. In what world would that ever be okay? And this evil girl was also disrespecting the hell out of my friend at that time, okay? On a daily basis, running circles around her. And I know that because she would come to me and vent about it. That experience showed me that you really cannot grow in friendships or relationships with people that do not respect themselves. If you do not respect yourselves, you're going to allow others to disrespect me. Ultimately, I just had to take myself out of the situation for my peace of mind. I knew that I deserved more than that. The power of having boundaries. What I like about boundaries is that it's not about controlling others. It's really just about being clear about what you will and won't allow in your relationships. I've been saying this the whole time throughout this video. There's just such a wide range of the type of boundaries that you can set in place. Like, one silly one that I have for my friends is that I am not available to hang out on Sundays. Why? Because Sundays are my me days, they're my meal prepping days, my preparing for the weekdays, my deep cleaning days, so I am unavailable. Do not schedule me for anything on Sundays because that is my day. Another boundary I have is don't befriend weirdos who have animosity against me. Didn't think that I'd have to make that a boundary with friends, but anything that builds your respect and inner peace can be turned into a boundary, as long as it's not hurting anyone else. So let's say you have your boundaries now and you start implementing them. What happens next? You'll often see that when you start having boundaries for yourself, some people will start falling off, okay? It's just a part of the game and it's to be expected. I often see that those with a lot of friends often have the least amount of boundaries because everyone wants to be around someone that they could benefit from. And don't take people falling out as a bad thing. This is actually a really positive purging. These aren't people that you're wanting to keep in your life because they were never there with your best interest in mind. They were just there to benefit from you, like I mentioned before. Whether it's through status, emotionally, financially. Once those people clear out, you'll start to meet people who truly value you for who you are and respect those boundaries that you have in place. Why does life become so peaceful once you start respecting yourself? Oh, because you start letting a lot less bullshit in. And that's why I think that being a bitch isn't necessarily a bad thing. We cannot deny that there is a stigma when it comes to being called a bitch. It's often weaponized towards women that say no, that are assertive with their needs, and that speak up when they've been wronged, really. There's also a double standard when it comes to it too. Why is it that assertive men are praised and seen as leaders versus assertive women are seen as being difficult and being too emotional? And don't even get me started on if you just so happen to have boundaries while being Black. If you do and you fit under that category, you are automatically seen as an angry Black woman. And honestly, I stopped caring if that's how people perceive me. If me being vulnerable with my emotions and speaking up when I feel wronged makes me an angry Black woman, then so be it, okay? I am that angry Black woman. But what that really shows me is that you lack the emotional intelligence to empathize with others' discomfort. Being a doesn't mean that you're mean, okay? It just means that you respect yourself. And I would much rather be respected than liked, because respect lasts a lot longer. So, what have we learned today? We learned that it's better to be kind over being nice. We also learned that having boundaries is an empowering act of self-love that can feel uncomfortable once you start inserting them into your life, but that's okay, because that's just a sign of growth. It's okay to disappoint others in the process of choosing yourself if it means protecting your peace of mind. Have you ever struggled with setting boundaries? Have you ever been called a Do you relate to anything that I said at all in this video? Please. If so, let me know below. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something, or I hope what I said resonated with you a little bit. If so, feel free to subscribe, like, and comment. Even if just one person finds value in these types of videos, then I think my job here is done. I am fulfilled. I'll see you next week.